Hello everyone, welcome to SDET 101. Today we are going to see how to assert by JSON response body and header and also parsing the JSON responses using JsonPath class. Yesterday we saw how to do the setup for rest assured and today we will see how to assert and parse the JSON responses using JsonPath class. So let's start. So yesterday, this is I have just opened a Postman to show you the thing. This is a method that we tried yesterday, and this was the response that we received for this, and this was the code that we did. Okay, now this is fine. We are validating the status code that it is 200 or not, and for example, if you have something more to validate in this is the pretty format of the body, something we have to validate in the body. For example, the status gets generated dynamically, or the id gets generated once you submit the post request. So how will you retrieve that, or how will you validate them? So those things we will check now. So this was our code that we yesterday did. Now for assertion, we use this assert dat method and then the status code. Now what we will do? Now we will try a different one also. Now here, try something more. Maybe body. This body and this header is also there. So let's see. Many times we have to validate this server, the server whether it is coming from the response is coming from the expected server or not. So in this case, we are let's see this. Check this server. So what we will do is dot header. So all we have a methods here. So header, in header we will pass this server value, this server, and this is there, but it will not match directly. This will match directly. Let's see. Okay, this validated directly. Now maybe let's try something more. Body. Let's see this. Put this thing in the body. The status or the complete. Complete equal to true. Now here this will not match directly. What we have to do is this will not work. We have to convert it. Now how will you do that? We have to use a method equal to. So this is a matcher. Remember we added the dependency for hamcrest. Now what is hamcrest? So hamcrest is Let's read it from their website. Hamcrest is a framework for writing matcher objects, allowing match rules to be defined declaratively. There are a number of situations where matchers are invaluable, such as UI validation or data filtering, but it is in the area of writing flexible tests that matchers are most commonly used. So there is a huge list. So this is my first Hamcrest test. So from here you can find that within the assert that you are writing this thing. This is the biscuit and equal to my biscuit. So similarly, we will use this equal. We are using this equal to method, but there is one thing that you have to add manually is this static import static org.hamcrest dot matches. So this is a static method, so that's why we need to import this manually if you are getting the error. Now what happens if we remove this? This is showing an equal, but it is the options are not showing since this is a static method, and that's why we have to add this import import static org.hamcrest.matches.com. Here also we will put the same thing equal to, and let's see how it works. Okay, so this got submitted, and okay, so there is some error in this. Oh, sorry. This is not as true. This is not a string. This is a boolean. So let's pick this one, the status. This is the one, and we will match this one, status, and I guess now this may work. See, this worked now. So this is fine. So this is what we did the assertion of of the JSON response body and header. Now what if it happens that you have to parse the JSON response body and use so for example, this is the response. In this case, this is a sample one, so all ID has been submitted, or maybe let's consider the status. The status is or submitted, but if the status remains dynamic, and we have to use this in our next test case, like for example the post is the first test case, then we have to update it or get the value again, our second test case. So what we have to do is use by using this status we will retrieve them, right? So how will you do that? So in that case we have to parse the response. So what we will do in this case, is we will do is we have to extract the response, right? So extract dot response is the thing we have to use, and then what we have to do, we have to convert it into a string. For string we have to use this as string method. Now it has returned a string, but we have to capture it somewhere in a string, right? uh, So we will store the response here, and for easier, we are not using the log all. Okay, otherwise you will not be able to separate it. So let's remove this log all because we will print this. Now let's see what happens. Okay, see, it got generated in a string format. Now, in rest assured, how will you parse that? So this is the one, the next step. You have to use JsonPath class. So JsonPath class, we are creating an object of the JsonPath class equal to new JSON. There are a lot of options. You can pass file, streams, reader, string. For our case, we are using string. Maybe later on we can try create another video with the file option. Now for here we will parse this the response, right? So this is the one. Now let's get the status. String status equal to js dot get string. So what will be the path? So our path will be, so this is a simple one, right? This is a simple JSON format. It's in all. So it will be the status. So get string status. Sorry. Hmm. Right? See, the status and response is placed. So this is how we got the parts the response. Now, if it is a nested, then how would you have written it if it has been nested JSON? If the status was in some other JSON, then we have to write like this: parent dot status with a dot. We will see this nested JSONs in our next videos. Thank you.